Always makes me smile, swearing in of a new police officer here in the city of Marysville. Chief Nevada, it's your show.
Test. If you would, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Wyatt Hook, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Bravo. Chief, Counsel,
Did you want to say anything? Anybody? Folks, just real quick, Wyatt comes to us from Nevada County. We are very lucky to have him. He's demonstrated to be a great officer, with the exception of a small fender bender a couple of nights ago. No, but we're very thankful and we're lucky to have you, and welcome aboard. Seriously. So.
Can you come down and get a photo? Dad, you want Margie?
Hey, we want to get a picture.
Stuart. The two of us have short arms if they got good looking legs. Let's get this out of the way. Just pull it sideways or something. Dan, would you share that photo? Please. Thank you. Okay, it's now time for the... Oh, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. Take your time. Take a lot of photos. Don't worry about us. It's a great occasion, isn't it? Okay, we are now at the Community and Consent Calendar Forum. Close the door, ladies. Thank you. Wait a minute. Individuals wishing to address the council on any item not on the agenda or on any matter on the consent calendar may speak now. Madam Clerk, do we have any speakers?
We do not.
Oh, hold it. We have someone here who'd like to speak.
Hi, my name's Mary, and I'm a...
Just a minute. Can you get the microphone going? Maybe help her out there.
There we go. Hi, my name's Mary, and I'm a resident of this county for my life, but I'm really concerned with the cat rescue closing down.
You're not the only one.
Huh?
You're not the only one.
I have a small colony, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't... They'd be thousands of them. So I don't know what we want to do. I mean, I'm retired. I can volunteer, but we definitely need the help here. So
I don't know exactly what's going on there.
I know
Chief,
she
do you know
said
what's
there was
going on?
financial, but that place is too expensive or something.
So didn't we dedicate funds for that already?
We did dedicate funds, an additional $30,000 into the animal care budget. However, Field Haven may not feel that that is enough to keep the shelter running here in town.
Well, we'll just have to have more discussion on that at
Yeah,
another
'cause-
time.
Yes, we are currently working with them
Okay.
to understand what our options are.
Okay.
And actually,
Okay.
it was $45,000 because the police department contributed 15 as well,
Oh, well, that's good.
right?
It's 45 total.
Yes, total.
Yeah.
I know she said she was working on transport to Field Haven, but still, like for myself, it's $65 to get a stray fixed. So, and the city was paying for it. So,
I know there's something afoot. I'm not real close to it.
okay. I'll just
Check
keep,
back.
keep checking with them. Okay, thanks.
And if we do anything, let's make sure to publish it in the on the website so to announce it. How's that? Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, if I could just get your last name and the correct spelling. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And I know there are the members of the council are also members of the public. And I understand there are two members of the council who have something to say tonight. Mr. Vice Mayor looks like he wants to go first.
Not by choice. No, I've just made my official announcement to run for another term for the council, and I believe we will be taking out papers here shortly, and looking forward to 4 more years.
Mr. Hudson.
So through the chair, I thank you for that, Mayor. I too am going to be throwing my hat in the ring, but I also open up to a democratic process. If there is another individual that wants to run, please come. I know I can do the job, even though there could always be somebody better. But I am happy to be here, and I'm happy of what we've accomplished for the past 8 years that I've been here. And I'm happy with the direction the city's going in. Therefore, I am throwing my hat in the ring for another 4 years, and we'll go from there. And I appreciate everybody that's on this dais and all the city staff that is here, because I'm happily here because we have a good city staff, thanks to our city manager, Jim, and his crew, and go from there. And that makes this job of being on this dais and making the crucial decisions all that much easier. So I'm going to shut up now and say I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and go from there. Thank you.
Good deal. Any other members of the council want to? I'm not seeing anything. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, then having no comments, looking at the consent calendar, items generally considered routine.
I'll move to approve.
You're pretty quick.
And I second.
Nobody wants to pull anything? Okay. What's the will of council? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? That would be a unanimous vote, Madam Clerk. Okay, we now move to the discussion and action calendar, items 5 through 9 on the agenda. All matters on this section of the agenda are discussed and will be acted on individually. And of course, members of the public may speak. If you wish to speak on any item on as part of the agenda, get a speaker's card from the city clerk and you'll be queued in. Item number 5 on the agenda, one-year contract with Alliant Networking Systems. Pass a motion authorizing the city manager or designee to execute a one-year agreement to award an information technology, cybersecurity, and virtual CIO, I know what that means, Chief Information Officer, services contract to Alliant Networking Services not to exceed $19,897 per month. It ain't free. I'll be interested to hear more about this. Ms. Anissa, what do you got to say?
Good evening, Council. Through the chair, there is a recommendation to pass a motion, just as the mayor had stated, to execute a one-year contract with Alliant Networking Services. Initially, the city entered an agreement with Alliant in September of 2015. It's been over 10 years since the original date of the contract. At that point in time, the contract hadn't been increased from 2015 to approximately 2024, at which the contract increased to $7,200 per month, which was a flat rate for the maintenance agreement portion of the contract only. But the true full all-in cost at that $7,200 rate was approximately $13,400, $500 around there. And at this point in time, due to rising costs in the technology world, rising costs with cybersecurity, and our requirements as an organization to remain secure, as well as our records retention requirement as required by the public and other legislation, we do have to maintain those standards. So that does come with an increase of $73,000 per year. And all in that, we will be revisiting the Alliant contract in the February time period, at which point we will look to go out to an RFP to ensure that we are abiding by procurement policies as set forth by our city code. Are there any questions?
Any questions? I've got some. I was just waiting for other people to go.
I got questions as well, Mayor. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to put it to the public first.
Comment?
If public first, I guess it is. Any public comment? Clerk? Brad, you always save me on that. Thank you. Re-elect.
So, thank you, Anissa. I appreciate that. I'm kind of curious. I know that they've been around a while, Alliant with us. We've been aligned with them for a bit. You're saying that we have not done an RFP with any other sort of company or organization since 2015, correct?
To my knowledge, since being here, no.
So we've always been with Alliant, and you want to do, how has it traditionally been? 1 year, 3 year, 5 year arrangement with them?
So the original contract was from 2015 to 2023. It was renewed in fiscal year end 2024 with an increase effective fiscal 25 in the subsequent fiscal year. And then that was, the previous contract was supposed to be for a 3 year, and then I think there was a couple 1 year extensions at that point in time. The previous contract, I believe, was a 3 year. But given the rise in costs with everything and the obligations that governments have to abide by the cybersecurity for municipalities and local entities, we now require different types of cybersecurity and software and other requirements for Microsoft 365. And so we have not, to my knowledge, gone out to RFP within this time period.
So thank you for that. This technology, is it something that is shared or compatible with other adjoining agencies that you're aware of?
In what capacity?
Well, I know that Alliant does, if correct me if I'm wrong, they were helping us out with like and I might be stretching and not correct, like license plates readers, or is this just mostly?
Oh, like, the LPR cameras and everything like that, that's a separate software that we utilize. Alliant may be involved.
But it's within Alliant.
Well,
yes.
Alliant manages our third-party software implementation for the city. That's
Okay.
that's part of their that's part of their increase in their contract was managing all of our third-party software. So that's whether it's with the LPR and helping onboard the software.
Okay.
That could also be inclusive of our accounting software, Tyler Technologies.
Tyler,
They're kind of the
right.
intermediary between us as the client reaching out to whether that's Alliant or with Tyler directly. If that's something that Alliant can help with, they'll be more than happy to help. And then if they have to reach out to Tyler, they will reach out to Tyler on our behalf because they'll be able to speak more freely with one another to make sure that our software is up and running.
How many other companies are you aware of that do the same thing that this particular company does as well?
I'll be honest, at this point in time, I have not done the research to figure out what other options are available to us.
Fair. I was just asking the question. So
No
thank you for
problem.
that.
It is. The research will be done in the next upcoming months as we move to evaluate all of our options.
So just be clear, we are going to potentially consider the idea of going to $19,900 per month for this company, which has traditionally been something that's been around $13,000 for the past 10 years?
Give or take, yes.
All right, and the reason for increase is because of the fact that it's just COLA, cost of living increase, or?
So there's from $7,200, at least on the maintenance agreement portion, it went from $7,200 to $9,600. That major jump in and of itself has a lot to do with the increased responsibilities Alliant has had to take on as the city expands, as cybersecurity requirements get more strict, and as AI also starts being a part of the organization. There are other protections that we need to take in order to make sure that all of the city's information.
Could kill switch for AI, yes. Thank you. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.
To the chair. I just want to make sure this does not include any hardware or software. This is strictly manpower, correct? Or womanpower.
This is all man hours that Alliant will put towards working on the city's account. This does include software subscriptions such as Microsoft 365. There is a newer version for government entities that we do have to subscribe to at this point. They offer a higher level of protection as a public agency. There are also other all-in costs associated that if you need a further breakdown, I can provide that to you.
I just want to make sure that it's clear that there's no hardware involved.
This is outside of hardware.
And any of the software is either through subscriptions or if there's new software we need to get, we'll still be responsible for that.
Yes.
Thank you.
To the chair. I just wanted to verify that this is also, they're going to be converting to our .gov.
Yes.
Thank you.
In this packet, not the last two, if you fold out the last page, those 2 pages.
Okay.
Left-hand side, the only software is the Microsoft 365 GCC licensing, is that right?
Yes.
That's the only software.
That's the major.
Now, what software is that? What's that do?
So the Microsoft 365, it allows us to have access to the other Microsoft environment, such as Word, Excel, Copilot.
So everybody in the building has access to
Yes.
Word, Excel,
PowerPoint,
the works.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
The
I get it.
Microsoft
I
suite,
get it.
yes.
No, that's not a bad deal. So that's 32,000, and this is most of 240. So about 210,000 is for services,
Yes.
pure services. How are those are billed out at what per hour?
There is an hourly rate of after-hours emergencies are $350 an hour, but I believe the regular hourly rate is.
You kind of have to speak into the microphone.
Sorry, their after-hours rate is $350.
Oh, it's $175 an hour unless it's after hours.
Yes. Now, we are allotted a specific number of hours per month, and anything beyond that dollar amount will be charged in excess if they choose to charge. Alliant has been very supportive of the city and its expansion, so there has been some in-kind to the city.
Are they obliged to provide a detailed account of the services they provide each month?
Yes, it's generally listed on their invoice. I have requested that they start.
I mean, by person, by activity?
We do have an annual review packet that was provided at the renewal date point in time, and it has a list of every piece of software, every device, every.
Just annually?
Yes, and then every time that we get a invoice, it is itemized on there in a lump sum if we don't otherwise pay for it throughout the year. Some of our subscriptions are on an odd renewal cycle depending on when the subscription was acquired.
That's software. I'm talking about services that we're getting charged for.
Services are listed on a monthly invoice, and they're itemized.
Is it by person and by deed? By function?
It's a monthly service agreement. I'm not sure I follow.
Or do they just put a number up there and say we did a bunch of work and here's the number?
It's a flat monthly service fee that we pay for them to give us a certain amount of hours allocated to the city of Marysville per month.
How do we make sure we're getting value for our money?
They do provide, again, on an annual basis, that annual service report. It will consolidate on.
That's annual can't be good enough to track activity.
We can start requesting a monthly service ticket that delineates how many service calls I have responded to and ensure that we are getting the appropriate amount of hours as represented on the invoice.
The temptation of, and I don't mean to demean these people, it's just the way I've always seen it done when there is a fixed monthly rate. There is some accounting monthly of what we're doing. And if it's, let's see, 21,000, 19,000, 14,000 a month or so. I haven't done the math in my head, but it's 14,000 a month, even at 175. That's a lot of hours, right? About equal 17,500 a month for hours, and it's 175. Isn't that interesting? That's 100 hours. So they're promising 100 hours a month average, and we want to make sure we get value. I mean, for crying out loud, they're saying the minute you call out 1 minute after regular working hours, it's $3.50. I think it's steep when you have a long-term relationship with somebody and they're supposed to provide support. All of a sudden, it's $3.50 an hour. That seems steep.
I do want to note that Alliant was here on site for several days or weeks at a time when our DOJ Klutz line was down for the police department. They were here nonstop around the clock. Jacob, who is an employee of Alliant, was instrumental in restoring that line, which strained our neighboring entities on the police department. And I believe it was Yuba County and Yuba City police departments, and without Alliant's help, the city would not have been up and running as quickly as we were. Now, that was considered a special project, and that was above and beyond Alliant's scope of what they normally do, and there is a special project, but I do want to state that they have been a partner of the city, and they do support all of our departments very fairly. And
I'm convinced they're qualified, and you're impressed by what they can bring to the table. I'm just wondering about accountability. Accountability, transparency is everything in a relationship. That's what trust is built on. So I would be an annual, we did a bunch of work last year, here's the hours. I don't think that's adequate, and I don't think that's exactly what you're saying. But I just think on a monthly basis, there should be a tracking, because that's 100 hours a month. And how do we make sure we're getting that value? It's real value.
Understood.
Because, well, I've seen situations abused, and I'm always on the defense, and it's not because of these folks or because of you. It's history in these kinds of relationships where it's a flat rate versus 175, and we'll bill you 175 an hour. Instead of we're guaranteeing them 100 hours a month, and the minute they go over it, it's 350. Mr. Vice Mayor.
I'm just curious, this increase was built into the 26-27 budget?
Yes, it'll be split between two line items with the 10-116 budget line in the general fund. Both of them combined will cover the cost of the contract as well as any other softwares or subscriptions that we acquire or already pay for throughout the year.
Thank you.
I would only be happy with something like this, and I would hope you would only be happy with something like this, where there was accountability, because when we're kicking out $17,500 a month for services, we want to make sure we're getting services. Now, do they expect some slow months and it's going to go up and down? I mean, how's that go? Or do we just guarantee them, what if they get it all done in 80 hours a month? We're still going to pay for 100 hours a month?
It's a flat rate contract, and I understand the need for transparency and to ensure that the city is getting the top value of the dollar and the worth of the contract. Alliant does, for the most part, work almost 24/7 for the city. They are available at all hours, and very rarely do we even pay that outside after hours cost. They have been available when we work from home, if that's allowable, and they do allow us to call them, again, outside of hours, and they are available at that point in time. Now, again, the only time we've ever had to remit the additional costs has been very, very few and far between, even since I've been here. And probably it's never really been accounted for as part of a special project, or technically onboarding additional software is still outside the scope of their contract. So they don't necessarily charge every single thing that they should as part of their initial contract. And so while it is a flat rate, and I can understand the need for transparency, and I will request a itemized hourly sheet to be attached with the invoice going forward, I do want to represent that that monthly rate that Alliant is charging at this point in time is the most appropriate way of handling the city's information technology and cybersecurity at this point in time.
What's after hours mean? Is that 8 to 5 and they'll work on it, or that's... It's $350, and it's an ad, even if they come in and less for than 100 hours that month. This doesn't feel right. See what I mean? I mean, say okay, you got a flat rate for 100 hours at we're at 17.5, which is 100 hours at 175. Say that they, it's been a month, everything was easy, everything ran smooth, and 60 hours all we put in. Oh, but we had to work 10 hours after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're going to bang you for $350 an hour. And $350 an hour, and they didn't even provide $175 an hour worth on the basic contract. That's concerning to me. It's a situation without the right accountability to where I don't want the city to be embarrassed by paying for something and not getting value.
I understand respectfully. There is an authorization process where Alliant will be able to accommodate or work those after hours unless explicitly authorized by myself, the city manager, the police chief, or the respective department that they're working with. A lot of times when Alliant does do these after hours, it is for a major emergency. Again, like I said, for the Clerk's line for the police department, that was dire. And so those additional costs incurred were very, very much needed at that point in time. And again, like I said, it put a strain on our local agencies, and we needed to ensure that our police department would be able to function. And I believe respectfully that that is an appropriate reason to pay for the after-hours expenses to make sure that our police department is running adequately.
I practiced law for a long time, and I only worked with clients who would pay a retainer, and I worked off retainer. But I provide very specific accounting for my time. I didn't do a flat rate. It was, here, it's going to be this much an hour, but I need so much in the bank before I'll start, and when I get low, I'll let you know and fill it back up, and I'll keep working. Now, that's accountability. We don't have that here.
So, through the chair.
Sir.
You have the floor, Mayor. I just have a question, inquiry. With the fact that Align has been here for a little over 10 years with the city of Marysville, and I know you probably have not had the time to go back and analyze your predecessor's time and all that kind of stuff of what they've done for us. To the best of my knowledge, do you feel as though the services they've given us have been fair at this particular point?
Yes.
Okay, so with that being said, thank you. This is just an agreement for a 1-year extension of a contract, and I think that Mayor Branscom's point of view is poignant to the fact is that this at least allows us an opportunity to be able to evaluate the next potential 12 months of an agreement with them, and we can take the fine-tooth comb through the whole thing and kind of see how we feel about their services after the next 12 months. Is that what we're kind of asking for right now?
That was the intention, yes.
Okay, so
I would, I could agree to this if it had proviso that they provide monthly accounting of time.
I believe our director just said she would do that.
I didn't hear it.
It was pretty clear.
Well, I just can't hear some things.
thank you, Mr. Shad. I do believe I heard that too, so that's where I was going.
Okay,
is
good.
that,
I'm sorry.
So, I mean, with that being said, through the chair, I'd like to present a motion to pass as it's been presented by our finance director.
With that proviso, yes.
Yes, with that proviso.
I need another comment. If we've never evaluated them over the past 10 years, I think we do need an hour accounting, whether it's monthly or quarterly, at minimum quarterly, because we won't know at the end of the year when we go to get it. We put an RFP out, we're not going to really know how we compare if we don't have some kind of accountability.
Yeah, if we're going to pay monthly, I think it needs to be monthly.
I think it's something that should be at least taken back and discussed with them at minimum.
With respect, Vice Mayor, I do believe that the motion was with the provision the mayor has requested, that with the provision the mayor has requested, that we pass this motion to be evaluated on a monthly basis for the next 12 months, as presented.
I'll second that.
It's well presented, Madam Finance Director, and I apologize. I wasn't trying to give you a hard time. It's just I've had experience, and it's nice. And typically in an arrangement like this, you do see the details monthly. Thank you.
Understood. Thank you.
And hold it. We have a motion and a second. Oh, anybody else for comment or question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Madam Clerk, that was unanimous. Thank you. Okay, item number 6. This is contract amendment with Management Advisory Services. Pass a motion authorizing the city manager or his designee to execute an amendment to add an additional $160,000 to the existing agreement with MAS, that would be Management Advisory Services, to continue planning services or projects assigned by the city. Okay, this says additional. Mr. Dan Flores, can you please share with us?
Yes. Hello, Mayor and Council. So tonight, this item is actually the 5th amendment for our agreement with Management Advisory Services. It says additional, but it's actually an extension of the existing contract. And so let me briefly explain why staff believes this is important. As the Council knows, Management Advisory Services is essentially serving as our planning department. And since we don't currently have in-house planners, they're handling everything from day-to-day planning issues and development applications to ordinance updates and helping us implement our new general plan and making changes that you've already seen. They're also assisting with environmental reviews, assisting with our grants, and assisting with many of the projects that support all of our economic development efforts. So I want to, at this point, too, I wrote some notes here, but I want to recognize Mike Lucan and Kathy Pease. They're not here tonight, but they've been outstanding partners to the city.
First rate.
And I just want you to know they're very responsive all the time, as you already know. They're always available when we need them, and they bring a tremendous amount of experience to the table, years of experience. They don't just help us solve planning issues, they help us really keep these projects moving forward. So over the past several years, I've worked with many consultants in my lifetime, 5 years here. I can honestly say that Mike and Kathy have been among the very best that I've worked with. They're knowledgeable, they're dependable, and they become a trusted extension to our staff for sure. They answer the phone all times, the night and day, on weekends. Doesn't matter. No additional charge, for the time. Just
They don't double their rates when you call.
They don't have an extra rate. No. So this amendment would actually just extend our agreement for one more year. The additional funding was already included in your budget. So staff is recommending approval of the $160,000 up to $160,000. They bill $200 an hour. We monitor monthly.
Somewhere it said $140 an hour in the contract.
Yeah. Sorry?
Contract said consultants points to $140 an hour.
Oh, that's their original.
That's the original contract.
Original
back in
contract.
21?
Their extension, which there should be a copy. Maybe they didn't.
Oh, okay. There's the extension.
Okay. Yeah, that's $200 an hour. The original contract was from 5 years ago. And they bill.
I noticed.
Okay, yeah. And so they bill $200 an hour, Mayor, and
yeah. Travel time, half rate, blah, blah. No,
correct,
it's a good deal. They're good people. Do they bill monthly?
They bill monthly, and we monitor basically weekly on
and they detail the hours?
Detail all the hours and detail
That's
all
how
their
it's done,
activity.
baby.
Okay,
All right.
yeah.
All right. Do we have any comments from the public? Noting none. We have comments from the council.
I have no comment except for the fact that I appreciate all the work they've done, and therefore I'd like to make a motion to pass as presented.
Okay.
My question is, I think they both do a great job, just to start with. But we're looking in what was the budget amount that we're adding on to? What was the original amount? This is 160, and what was the original amount?
Well, it's 160 for the year, so it's not additional. That is the full amount, 160,000 for the year.
It says add an additional 160.
I know. As I corrected when I first opened up, that it's not. It says additional, but it's actually an extension of their yearly contract.
What was the previous contract?
Last year, I'd have to defer to finance for that.
Last year, the contract was for $133,000, and that was not necessarily one full fiscal year. It was midstream.
That's fine. I understand. That makes a huge difference of what we're talking about. I must have missed you on
no problem
on the first part.
Sure, no problem.
I'll second.
Got a motion, a second. My comment before we vote is that I think the world of Kathy and her organization. We're extending a contract first done in 21. Let's start a new contract next time.
Yeah, I think that will be the intention. Yeah.
If I may.
Sure.
We may need to do a RFQ in the future. Mr. Mallon is here and understands this. Some of our federal grants, if we're billing time for consultants, require contracts to be bid every 5 years. Kathy Pease and MAS has not been charging a significant amount of time to any grants, but they are starting to charge. We are starting to utilize them more on grants, and so we may have to go through that process. We just did that process a couple years ago with John's firm, MHM. They ended up being the firm we selected primarily because of the service they provide. It's not a low bid type of situation. It's a evaluation based on the value they offer the city. So we may have to do that, but MAS has served us well, and they would certainly be one of the front runners if we had to bid it out.
I would expect that. Thank you.
To the chair, I just want to say, yes, it's been a pleasure working with them on the Planning Commission now, and as a city council member, that they are first class. I appreciate them.
Thank you, Councilperson Rollins.
Okay, we have a motion second and comments. Any further comments? What is the will of the council? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Thank you.
opposed? None noted. Any abstained? None noted. Madam Clerk, that was unanimous. Okay, item number 7 on the agenda, notice of completion for Phase 1 CDBG Pavement Rehabilitation Project Contract 2302. Recommendation, staff recommends that the City Council pass the resolution accepting the Phase 1 CDBG Pavement Rehabilitation Project and authorize the City Clerk to file the notice of completion. Mr. John Mallon. Your name's on the agenda.
Oh, my name got on the agenda. Okay. Yes. So this is the first, we call it the first phase of the CDBG project. This is the area primarily around Miners Square Park, around Marjorie's neighborhood over there. It was completed by Lehman Construction. This one we had good luck on when we were doing the paving on it, and we were able to extend the area that we originally did with the project. When we initially put in the grant with CDBG, we encompassed that whole area. It was basically from 12th to 17th and Ramirez to Sampson. Here's the card. And we had to scale it back at the time of bid because the cost of things. So we were able to go back to CDBG and expand back to a portion of the original limits, which included East 16th Street, Sampson, and Sweezy, which I think Sweezy, everybody was very excited to get that paved. So we completed that project, and actually, as a side note, Lehman Construction that did CDBG 1 is our low bidder, and they're getting ready to start CDBG 3, which is the West Marysville portion of it that's basically north of 10th Street and west of D, south of 14th, that whole area. We have a pre-construction meeting with them this week, and they're expecting to start construction in 1 to 2 weeks. With all these CDBG projects, the first phase is a lot of R&R, installing all the accessible ramps on the corners and fixing sidewalk and curb and all that as part of the first phase. And then we get to the paving, and they go really fast because they could pave a lot of streets in a short period of time. So they're going to start with concrete on that one. But yeah, this is CDBG 1. And
just to summarize, what we're asking council to do tonight is approve a resolution
for the notice of
to close the project out, which is a requirement from our friends at HCDN.
Yes, and Paul had clarified that there's another, it's like a public hearing that'll have to come after all the accounting's closed out on the project, and that'll be probably in the next couple months. This is to close out the construction contract with Lehman Construction, and then we'll file the notice of completion, and it'll be recorded, and it's a requirement, yes.
These are all the items, hoops we jump through as part of the funding from HCD.
Yes.
Any public
To
comment?
the chair.
Any public comment first? Mr. Vice Mayor.
Can we just get a brief on number 8 and take care of these both at the same time?
I was going to do that. But let's do one, and the other one should be simple. Any comments from the, quick comment from me. We got good value out of the work that was done, didn't we?
Yeah,
That's
they
great.
did a really good job.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for all your work and Lane. We're they'd stop by and ask you how everything's going just because, you're out in the yard and take care of everything and all the things I asked them. Oh, could you go look at that, whatever that sewer cover that makes a loud noise? Yeah, that you'd get complaints about. So they took care of everything very nicely. Thank you.
Okay, very quickly, what is the will of the council?
Move to.
I'll second.
There you go.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained. Number 8, it's the same thing, only it's got a different name.
So I would give a brief description of where it was.
Yes. So this is CDBG Phase 2. The contractor was All American Construction.
Different contractor.
Different contractor. They were bid at the same time, and they were both really close on both bids. This is the area. It starts at Sampson, and it goes all the way to the east. Picks up, Kovalod, Spurbeck, Aldridge, Kaminsky, all those streets over in there. This one didn't go quite as smooth. A couple of the streets, primarily Del Perro between 16th and 17th, and then a portion of Houston. Well, the Del Perro, we ran into just areas where it was just unsuitable subgrade, and we had to dig out and do quite a bit of extra work. And then on Houston, we ran into areas where the existing pavement was variable thickness, and in some places very, very thin. And we had to do some extra thick when we did the overlay on those. So we ran into some additional costs. But other than that, it went pretty smooth. Like I said, same sort of operation as.
Thank you. Any public comment, Madam Clerk? Thank you. Mr. City Manager, these were close bids, as John has explained, and I don't want to speak ill of either of these companies. I'm just wondering if they're close bids, if we have a better experience with one, do we have to go low bid?
For public contract requirements, we do
Okay.
on this type of job.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. I think what the real differentiator is not so much between those two contractors as far as the work they do. It's these unknowns that we see, and then price-wise, I think we see the material cost.
Yeah, their unit costs are very similar. They're almost.
They buy this from the same places, but like right now, our bids are higher because of the oil prices.
And one of the things that's built into all these paving projects is what's called the AC Oil Index. So Caltrans tracks the price of the oil that's in all the asphalt, and they have a monthly rate. And so at the time you bid it, you have the rate that the time you bid it, just like if you went down to, the price of fuel, it's the same sort of thing. It's the price of the AC oil. And then when you purchase the material, the contractor purchases the material from the supplier like Tiger Aggregates or Facility Gates. They have the date of purchase, and they look at the AC oil price at the date of purchase. And if it's significantly different, they can request an adjustment. It's not for the overall price of the asphalt because it has aggregate and everything else, but it's for the oil within the aggregate that generates and it's all done through a formula that Caltrans has generated that's used for all these type of projects, and that's built into our contracts.
Layman and All American are typically the two most competitive.
Yes.
For Marysville, and they both tend to do good work.
Since I've been bidding projects for the city, they're always one or two on every bid that we've had for paving. So,
To the chair.
Sure.
These projects were done almost simultaneously, weren't they?
yes.
So, there's the question of capacity of whether one company could do both.
And that's
at
part of the
same
reason
time.
why at the time that we awarded it, we were looking at, we didn't want to try and force to award it all to one contractor.
No, yeah, I get that. So, capacity is a factor. And that's what I thought I'd ask. Thank you.
Primarily with all the concrete work involved, because
think
That's
I've
a lot.
already asked for public comment, haven't I? I have. Making
Comment
sure.
to the chair.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't that always part of the second phase? Didn't we have all that underground sewer work being done?
Yes.
Right, almost at the same time?
Yeah, what we
Previous.
did first, and I guess I didn't include that in the comments, but yes, there's 4 streets or 3 streets. Well, I guess it's 4, and within CDBG Phase 2 that we had the contract with West Rock Engineering, and they moved the backyard sewer into the street, and then they did some preliminary paving for that, and then it was coordinated, and then we went in and did the handicap ramps actually while they were still working, and then paved the street right after they were done. So that neighborhood went from, they got new sewer and handicap ramps and paved all in a very, very, that area was called Marymead.
Marymead.
Yeah, Marymead is primarily the area of that.
No.
No motion.
I'll make a
What
motion.
is the will of the council?
I'll make a motion.
I just did, I think.
Moved and seconded?
Second.
I'm good, either way.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Item number 9 on the agenda, adoption of resolution approving the Yuba-Sutter Regional Safety Action Plan. The recommendation is to adopt an appropriately numbered resolution approving and adopting the Yuba-Sutter Regional Safety Action Plan for the City of Marysville. Mr. Chapdelaine.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor and Council. So this is a follow-on item from back in February. Our consultant, Farron Pierce, did the presentation regarding the Regional Safety Action Plan. We were in the final stages with that, but we're just bringing it back tonight. They have completed their work. The final plan is out for public review. There's no substantial changes. So, during that presentation, Council was supportive of it, gave the direction to move the process forward, and that's what we're doing tonight with the formal adoption. So, if there's any other questions. So,
Any comment from the public, Madam Clerk?
No, thank you.
Any questions or comments from the council?
Jeremy, I have a question. I'm not sure if you can answer it. Why did Sutter County, why have they not adopted it yet?
It is. I believe it's agendized for next week.
Okay.
They've had a lot of items. From what I understand, they've just had a lot of items, and it's
Okay,
again
thank you.
like we're bringing it. It was just further out in their queue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What is the will of the council?
Move to approve.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? None noted. Unanimous, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Committee reports. Rollins.
I attended the Core Charter School informational tour. Jeremy and Mr. Flores was there. It was a really great presentation. I don't want to steal their thunder because they are going to be coming to council with a presentation, but they did drones, and it was so exciting. They're building a high school at that site, so that's going to be exciting. And they're going to have a community event and talk to the neighbors to make sure that they like the style and the low profile towards the homes. It was really a great event. So they'll be coming, I'm not sure when, but soon to council. And I attended both of the fireworks, or the 4th of July 250th celebrations. It was great. Hats off to Carrie at Sapphire for organizing and everything. It was great. Brad and I drove around a dysfunctional golf cart and delivered cupcakes to the community at Riverfront Park, and so that was really fun. So yeah, Brad made the golf cart work, so that was really fun. And the other one at Yuba-City was very nice as well. Thank you.
My only comment is I own 2 drones, and I'm not very good at flying them. And I know those folks at the charter school know that. I'm going to see if I can find a consultant in their midst and get trained up.
They have a class and the two kids that presented this to us was basically, they graduated already, but they have a growing class at that school.
So you're going to sign me up, aren't you? Yeah. There you go. Any other comments or questions?
No.
Let's see, your turn.
It is my turn. No committee reports at this time. I would like to thank city staff and Sapphire for doing such an outstanding fireworks show on July 3rd, which, of course, I did not like the idea of doing the show on July 3rd. However, I was able to attend the San Francisco fireworks on July 4th and froze to death and saw nothing and stayed inside the home after deciding at 6 p.m. there's no way I'm going to be outside. No way. So it was great. It was actually quite awesome to be directly under the fireworks. So thank you, city staff. I had a blast, and it was warm.
That's it.
So yes, I want to thank Kerry Houck and Dennis Houck of Sapphire Marketing. They did a fine job. I only got to participate with the fireworks show because I had other obligations for the July 4th drone show. Not that it really interested me, but I think that the fireworks show was great. I think the city staff did a good job. Public Works did a fine job on coordinating the area off, and the extra staffing is right there. And they were very adamant about not letting people through with passes, which was a good job. And I have some. I became an impromptu vendor of selling T-shirts, and realized on my drive over this morning I have a bunch of money I need to bring to the city for the T-shirts that I sold. It was a fine show. Even though there was a little miscommunication about the exact launch point of where they were supposed to set up, which was a little closer than desired and anticipated, but it was still it was a fine show. They did a good job, and besides a little bit of I'm not going to say whether it be a miscalculation, one of the cases, there was a little bit of a lull in the middle of the show, but it was a good show and good participation. And yes, Councilman Rollins and I drove around in a defunct golf cart that I had to keep pumping the throttle to keep working, even to go up to like a 1-foot mole hill to deliver. I want to say
like
probably
pedals, huh?
we probably delivered like 300 cupcakes to all the people out there, and sure, but it worked.
Let's go. Let's get rid of these cupcakes.
Yeah, and so we got rid of all the cupcakes, and but all that, Chief Nabetta, your exiting plan worked. I mean, everybody was out of there in a pretty sufficient amount of time, which is always the complaint that people have, is that they're not sure how long it's going to take to get out of there. And consistently, year after year after year, it's gotten, it's a well-planned, well-oiled machine. Just get everybody out of there, and it takes at most 35, 40 minutes for everybody to get out of there. It's not the Bay Area traffic of 2 hours to go 5 miles. And so thank you for that. And thank you, Jeremy, for your staff that worked that day. They did a good job. And thank you to the fire department that staffed up. We did have actually a small grass fire down on the river bottoms that the fire department got handled pretty quickly. And yeah, I got tired of waiting for traffic, so I just kind of slept in my trailer that I pulled down there and had a good night. So thank you for everybody to come. Thank you for all the work that was done. And 250th year anniversary celebration on top of the city of Marysville's 175th year anniversary was a good double action. And the city came together in more ways than one. And I just thank everybody for doing that. So I have no committee reports at this particular time, except for, I guess, after several years of working towards bringing two fire departments together, that finally happened 7 days ago, where Marysville Fire Department and Lynn Fire Department came together, and that is said and done. So thank you to the staff for everything that you guys did to make that happen, because that was no small feat. So thank you for that. That's all. And maybe I'll be here for another 4 years. We'll see.
Vice Mayor.
Committee-wise, the only thing I have is the RWMA is still a little bit in limbo, and being able to bring the recology contract extension back to each jurisdiction. I believe TAC, is that the right term, or the right?
Yes, Technical Advisory Committee.
Our meeting Thursday morning, I've been asked to meet after that briefly. So hopefully in the next month or two, we're going to end up bringing something back to each jurisdiction on the recology extension. One thing I wanted everybody to remember, Legacy Sports, who we're contracted with for the softball fields, are having I don't know if it's not a tryout, it's a sign-up, I guess, on August 29th and 30th for adult softball, men's, women's, and co-ed. That's, August 29th and 30th. So that's, if anybody knows anybody playing softball, let them know. Fireworks-wise, I thought that was our best to this point. I thought it was our best show, the best attendance. The lines for the food trucks, as Dan and I talked about, was ridiculous, meaning ridiculously good. I did go, and the fireworks were unbelievable. I did go by the drone show, which I did not spend the day there, so I don't know what the day was like. But as far as I'm concerned, it was an 8-minute show. If I'm not mistaken, I thought it was 10, but I was corrected. It was only 8. It was an awful lot of money for an 8-minute show. They did have some cool stuff with it, but I think we need to relook at that again next year. So anyway, public staff, you guys did an amazing job. Who was ever involved down there? You two, I guess, mainly. Controlling the crowd, everything. It was first class. You guys did a good job, so thank you.
Every time I hear about the Riverfront Park, I think about that concert that was put on recently and the descriptions of the turnout and getting $15 a car for parking, and what a great business. We need to get in on that action, by the way. Anyway, I did my normal thing on the 4th of July. I opened all my windows and I listened to the fireworks display, which, by the way, is exciting. And it was particularly exciting because not only was the Riverfront Park display going on, but Bryant Field, there was a ball game and they had a fireworks display. It was absolutely grand. Looking forward to the Peach Festival, I've been watching the weather forecast, and they had been saying it'd be 100. Now, 2 years ago, it was 105 and still no breeze, nothing. Awful. And until today, they had been forecasting 100 on both Friday and Saturday, and it's now down to 98 and 99 with lows of 64 those days, and that implies something of a sea breeze. So it'll be more than tolerable early. In fact, it'll be nice early. And in the heat of the day, it won't be as bad as it was 2 years ago. It won't be as nice. Last year was about 94 with a breeze. But anything below 3 digits is good. And pardon me for just droning on about something obvious, but it's something on my mind. That's such a great event, and last year was so grand partly because of the weather, and looking forward to decent weather this time. Nothing else to report. Mr. City Manager.
Okay, I've got a bit of a list here. First of all, the drone show, that was for this year only. I'm not convinced that we would participate next year either. We typically focused on the pyrotechnics show at the river, and we are going to start working early on trying to get the event back on the 4th of July for next year. Some other things, Public Works has been very busy. Not that the other departments haven't, but we have quite a few projects moving forward. The Ellis Lake Pathway, we're getting ready to go out to bid on that project. The $4 million worth of pathway on the east and north sides of the lake. D Street lighting, I think we did a walkthrough. Lighting and bollards, I think that's the primary features. So Jeremy and John probably walked through that with the prospective bidders. Less known, we're doing a sewer relocation for Caltrans. They are paying us to do that. They're paying us to relocate our sewer as part of the Benny Junction project. In the end, I think it's better that we manage that project since it will be our sewer in the end. Probably the same bidders will bid regardless of whether Caltrans puts it out or us, so it just made sense for us to do that. Good walk on that. We received 3 proposals for the Reconnecting Communities grant, and staff is beginning to evaluate those proposals. All 3 of them look solid, so we'll be bringing that to council soon. We also have quite a few grants that we are pursuing to apply for, and because of that, we likely will need a meeting before the 17th, and we'll be working with council. Preliminary thought is just next Tuesday, earlier in the day, to discuss those. 2 of them are streets related, and Dan Peterson has been working on those grant proposals. Another one is a Transforming Communities grant. That is a very large program, long-term, but it comes in 3 phases. The first phase would be a planning phase where we're just really trying to get our act together, and what we've been discussing is that may be a way to ultimately fund more of the Ellis Lake rehabilitation and the 14th Street under the railroad tunnel and those types of items. We will likely have Jesse working on a parks-related grant, state parks-related grant. It's called SPP, and I don't remember exactly what that acronym is, but 2 projects we may have in mind based on their eligibility and the evaluation criteria would be Deech or Christmas Tree Park and very near Plaza Park. Those are both in locations that are amenable to the grant criteria. Beach Park, we would likely include the acquisition of the property as well.
Here.
We'll also probably need to have another discussion on CalPERS issues with our police chief and Mr. Perry regarding the situation there and giving it a status. And then without saying too much about it, there may be some actions we want to take on windows and bathrooms. Those bids did come in, but we have some technical issues that we need to address, and because of that, we may need to get it in front of council quickly so that we can continue to move forward towards our deadline of spending that money by December 31st. So a lot of public works stuff going on. I know Chief's very busy and our finance folks are very busy trying to implement new Tyler software and audits. And then, of course, Dan has some of his usual announcements. Some of the economic development stuff is moving forward. Development is always fun. It tends to go in fits and starts, and so we're slowly, methodically moving through that, but I'm going to let Dan talk a little bit about that.
Real quickly, sir. And what's the latest update on timing on I know they do little parcels of work on Benny Junction here and there, but when's it really going to start where they're moving traffic around?
I don't think they're going to start, and it's hard to get a date from Cameron, but because I don't think he has the date yet, but in 2028, we're talking 2028.
So it's going to be a while.
Yeah, yeah. I anticipate the hotel will start and maybe finish before the Benny Junction project.
That was my next question, the hotel. So if it starts and finishes, that'll be grand. Do we have an update? I mean, what's the latest on the hotel?
The latest on the hotel is he's looking and expecting to start construction ground movement in September at this point. So that's the latest right now. So we'll keep you posted, and we're looking forward to doing an additional groundbreaking, even though we had the original one.
The reason I've been driving by, and there's so much activity on the center portion of the property, well the southern portion of the property with the grocery outlet and what have you, and I look at the other side. Come on, get going over here too.
Yeah, grocery outlet is, as you just mentioned, is well underway, and they have selected new operators of the grocery outlet. Their name just escaped me, Ellen. But do you remember? Yeah, a couple moving from Reading, who will be the managers of the grocery outlet. They'll be in to visit City Hall in the next week or so.
That's a franchise, isn't it?
It's a franchise, and they're the operators of the franchise. So the grocery outlet supplies the building, and then the franchisee comes in and runs the company.
Got it.
And they intend to get highly involved in the community, according to them, and we hope to welcome them wholeheartedly to the city of Marysville.
Yeah, people are excited about that. That's great.
Yeah.
And about October, November for an opening?
October is the target date, correct?
Thank
Yep.
you.
So that'll be great. Yep. And I really don't have any other updates. Jim did a thorough job putting you in front of all of those things. I think, it's exciting that the Delta building did receive its occupancy permit, and they're starting to lease out their apartments. The building that's being developed by Chris Gill with 11 new apartment units. We're visiting tomorrow with the CEO of Adventist, who's taking a look at those apartments for potential executive staff and other staff of the hospital. He expects those apartments to be complete by the end of the year. We examined them yesterday, Jeremy and I, and they look really nice. A couple of them are high luxury apartments, really nice. Yeah.
No, I've been through that, and it's good to get two Chris's together, Chris Gill and Chris, the CEO, because Gill has some other properties he's been working on, and maybe they can, well, this is nice, but I also would like to see this, that kind of thing.
Sure, for sure. There's a lot of good ideas. And then also I just mentioned to you that I want to thank Core Academy. They've been working closely with us with their drone pilot class. Their drone instructor happens to be somebody I met 40 years ago, and then he came back into my life 2 weeks ago, so it's really interesting. But he is the teacher who will help teach you how to fly a drone, Mayor, anytime. But they are mapping
good money.
They're mapping all of the opportunity sites for the city of Marysville that we identified in the general plan, and we'll be presenting those to council shortly as well. So doing a really good job of that.
So, which two things we'll be reaching out to council members individually on. One is the opportunity sites before we release a request for information for all of those sites to see what interest we have. And then the other one is related to Ellis Lake, and we just want to show council members individually what the finished engineering looks like for the east side. So Maggie will be working to schedule that. Either Maggie or Ellen, I guess.
I probably missed something, sir. Opportunity sites?
Those are the parks, Yuba Park,
okay.
all Packard Library.
I remember.
Yeah, it's the city-owned properties that will be available for marketing. Yes.
Another new code word now.
Yeah, opportunity sites. Yes.
All
and,
right.
and so, other than that, we just, I just want to say thank you to Public Works and Police and Fire too. Amazing job the whole fireworks, the whole weekend. The 3rd and the 4th were great, but the 3rd was incredible. You know, Vance and I estimate that around 10,000 people or so were watching the show in Marysville. That's a huge turnout for a fireworks show. So it was just something that we should be very proud of as a city, the way it was handled all the way through, from planning with Sapphire through our own staff running the entire show. Incredible.
Before we close, Chief, new officer's named Wyatt Hook. What a great name for a cop. Wyatt Hook, I mean, that could be a TV show, right? Nice young fellow. Congratulations to him and to you and the department. That's great. Next regular meeting of the City Council will be Tuesday, July 21st, 2026, 6 p.m. Adjourned.
Watch. You can support or sponsor. Help keep the community aware with Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.